Hi guys, and welcome back to the latest video in which we cover the latest leaks of My Hero Academia chapter 305. The chapter starts with Nana asking Deku if he can kill Shigaraki or not, and Deku was genuinely surprised to hear the question, and Nana explained that it's not that she asked him to kill Shigaraki, she only wanted to know Deku's resolution towards him. Nana said she sympathized with Deku's feelings where he thought in chapter 295 that Tomura was someone who looked like he needed saving and was asking for help. Banjo explained that although they see Shigaraki looks like someone who is suffering, he didn't seem like he was wanting or asking for help of any kind. Even in that situation where Deku saw Shigaraki and wanted to save him, Banjo only saw hatred in Tomura's eyes. And the first user explained that Tomura was raised that way so All For One could take over his body and use it to eventually take One For All. Banjo explained that All For One had failed twice already to take One For All. The first time All For One tried to take it from Banjo himself, and the second time was with the sixth user named N. Since One For All's principle is that One For All can only be controlled using the user's will, and that One For All in principle won't ever yield to All For One, so in order to force All For One to surrender, All For One needs a will stronger than One For All's will itself, and All For One is believed to be using Shigaraki's strong hatred and strong will for that purpose entirely. The first user explained that the objective of One For All is the power to defeat All For One, and All Might seem to have accomplished that job, but All For One came back at the end of the day. Nana then explained that Shigaraki is her grandson, and that Nana separated herself from her family in order to fight All For One, and she felt horrible for being a failing grandmother, a failing mother, and she felt horrible for pushing the responsibility of all these failing adults and former users of One For All to a 16-year-old within our character Deku. But if Shigaraki did become All For One and gain complete control over all of his newfound abilities and become the complete monster that he has the potential to be, no one would be able to stop him, not even Deku himself. Nana Shimura explained that in this world there are people who you won't be able to understand no matter how hard you try, and there are people who are completely beyond saving. So she wanted to know Deku's conviction that even though Shigaraki looks like he needs help, Deku at the end of the day might not be able to help him. And she wants to know, would Deku be prepared to stop Shigaraki by any means necessary, including killing him? Deku explained that when he and Shigaraki were in the vestige, although he felt such strong hatred within Shigaraki, in the deepest place of Shigaraki's consciousness, he felt like he saw a kid crying and asking for help. Deku continued to explain that he had fought so many villains, but in the end he could only fight to stop them, and he was never able to save them. If he knew why they became villains, the result of the fight might have been different, and he might have been able to save them from their villainy. Deku said most importantly that he learned from All Might that One For All is not the power to kill or destroy, but the power instead to save and help others. Deku then continued to explain his reasoning, and the first user in Nana looked satisfied with his answers as if it was a test all along. The next panel shows Nana crying, and she told Deku to send Gran Torino her regards once he woke up. The first user then said to the second and third users who were still both facing the wall to let it go and to start cooperating with Deku so they can unlock the full power of One For All. This here implies that the reason they're facing the wall is because they haven't acknowledged Deku as the current wielder, and as a result they haven't relinquished any of their power to Deku. They don't view him as a worthy successor yet. And the chapter ends here, and it's interesting to see that even after all of this time that Deku's possessed One For All, there are literal wielders who still don't acknowledge Deku as a worthy successor to All Might, and as a result their power has not been relinquished to Deku. However, as the first user and Nana Shimura both said, these two individuals need to let go of their pride. Whether they view Deku as a worthy successor or not, he is the last user of One For All, and Deku needs all of the abilities of One For All completely manifested in order to defeat All For One, which is the initial reason that all of these people took on the torch of One For All as it is. I love this chapter, and seeing the solidification of my theory I made in the last video that Deku will find a way to save Shigaraki despite any means makes Deku's status as a hero even more solidified. His conviction to save everyone is unwavering, and that is the reason why Deku will become the #1 hero, as it's mentioned in the very first episode. This is the story of how Deku becomes the #1 hero. Guys, I really appreciate all the support you've been giving me, and thank you again for the birthday wishes. I'll be pumping out more videos this week, My Hero related, possibly a Jujutsu Kaisen video, so stay tuned for more. And if you enjoyed this video, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.